pet book is here. Unbelievable. Check it out, you guys, when you get a chance. If you care about your pet, if you care about your dog, if you care about your cat, you're going to want this information. You're going to want this material. And I'm going to go through a little bit of it. It is a big book, just like Medical Medium Fashion, okay? It's a big book, jammed-packed. Every single line is valuable. No fluff, no throwaway material. It's not how the Medical Medium books work. And if you're somebody that just got on here and you're like, who is this guy? His information, Medical Medium information has saved countless lives around the world. People who were really, really ill and they got a second chance because of Medical Medium information. But now it's a pet book and I am excited. It's long overdue. I have to admit, it really is long overdue. And I know that. I do. I really do. It's hard to put these kinds of books out year after year. It's very difficult. There's no AI involved with any of the materials, meaning like all the words, all the information from SOC. It is a painstaking process, but well worth it, as you guys know, if you have Medical Medium books, Medical Medium literature. So here we are. I'm going to talk about some different things that are in the book that is incredible. This book is so big, I have two, so it feels like two books right here. Basically what it is, it's this, okay? Now this is my manuscript, I'm letting you guys know. So it's going to be different looking like this. So that's my manuscript right there. That's the one I've been working in. That's my copy right there. But when you guys get the book, you'll have a book. You won't have this binder and the rings in the binder and everything. So you won't have that. So I just want to say, I am excited. I am blown away. I'm trying to stay calm because this is one of the greatest moments in my life. And I don't want to come across too excited, but I am. I'm like popping with excitement. I can't even tell you guys because of the information in this book. And if you're somebody that cares about your pet, you love your pet. Wait a minute, even more so, even something else. If you're someone that lost a pet passed away years ago, you're going to want this book. You're going to want the information in this book. If you're somebody that doesn't have a pet right now, you're going to want this book. Because if you had a pet 20 years ago, you're going to want to know the afterlife of a pet, which is your pet. You're going to want to know the afterlife of your dog, of your cat, even your horse. Very important. So the information in this book is multi-layered. It is something that is mind-blowing. It's practical information you can use along with supernatural, spiritual information. We're going to cover just some tidbits as we go through it. Be impossible to get through all of it. There's no way. So I can only just choose a few different areas to talk about, you guys. Are you guys excited or what? You're so happy? You're excited? I'm seeing the comments. What's going on? Are you guys, oh my God, you guys are pumped up? You guys are that excited? I am too. I can't even say enough of it. I am a really happy guy right now. I've been a animal lover, I've had animals in my life, my whole life, since I was a baby. And I can't live without animals in my life. And I love dogs, I love cats. So it is very important to me that this book finally got here for us. And if you're somebody that has a dog or a cat and you're struggling with their health because they're going through a lot, there's different conditions, symptoms. There are so many symptoms, conditions, over 200 symptoms and conditions in this book, Healing Your Pet. And that title is the title, Healing Your Pet. If you're somebody that likes the supernatural in a sense where light work, I have chapters in here about light work so that you can do light work on your beloved dog, on your beloved cat, on any of your beloved animals that you have. So this information is next level. Next level. So you're going to be able to become an expert in light work for your animals. That's what is in this book, okay? Now you can see why I'm so excited. Now you can see, and now you know where I've been, okay? Because it didn't come easy. It was a lot of hours, a lot of days, a lot of weeks, and a lot of months, because it has to be the way it needs to be. It can't be a jumble of junk. Like if you type in something on the internet and you're like, how's this or that? Or what can I do for this? And AI generates a whole bunch of stuff. And in that stuff, that will be bad. That will probably kill your dog. Oh, that will probably kill your cat. But nobody knows because it's just a jumbled mess all thrown in. And then you have to kind of decipher what could be good or what could be bad for your cat or your dog or your animal. Well, it's not like that here. This is precise. It is solid information. It's going to be life-changing for you. Life-changing for you, not just for your dog and your cat, but life-changing for you. That's the difference in here. This is a human and pet combination. What you're going to learn in here are going to be things about yourself you kind of didn't even realize, or maybe you don't even know. Maybe you're harboring pet guilt. I have a whole chapter on that. A lot of people, they lose a pet as the years go by, and then they think about things like, could I have done this differently? Could I have done that differently? And then this pet guilt is underlying for the rest of your life. Well, you can learn how to kind of release that and move on and heal and not harbor any pet guilt. Very important. This book is mind-blowing. So you can go right to Amazon and you can get this book. You can go to my, my book page on medicalmedium.com. You can order this book. Very important. Let's get into it a little bit. I'm trying to give you guys a little warm up on this because it's so packed. There's so much information. I'm kind of just getting you ready. So the table of contents is mind blowing just all on its own. So part one is about awakening with our animals. It's connecting with your pet. A lot of people, they just don't have that connection with their dog or their cat or their horse. They just don't have a good enough connection. The dog, the cat, their horse wants a connection. They want a connection, but the person doesn't have that connection. There's information on this all in here, okay? So there is a section in here that's 9 practices to form pet connections. I'm going to go into that too in a little bit as well. I'm just giving you guys a little rundown on where we're heading, talking about napping with your pet, what happens there, dreaming when your pet's sleeping and you're sleeping. So when your cat is sleeping or your dog is sleeping and then you fall asleep with your cat or with your dog, what can happen? What kind of supernatural connections happen when you're in a dream state while your dog or your cat is napping with you on your couch or in your bed or somewhere on a cot somewhere, and there's information being generated and passed along. So there's a frequency and connection that's happening between your pets and you when you're napping and when you're sleeping. So just that alone is a reason to get this book, is the reason to have this book. And if you're somebody that doesn't have a pet, you know somebody that does, make sure you tell them about it, because they're going to want this book too when they start reading it and they see what's going on. So just the napping part, if you sleep with your pet, they're on the couch with you, you fall asleep, you take a 10-minute nap, they take a 10-minute snooze, and you guys are connecting the dream state together. I talk about that in here as well. There are sections in here talking about like watching sunrises and sunsets with your dog or your cat or your horse, and the difference of actually understanding that that's what you're doing. A lot of people, sunsets, sunrises, they never see one with their dog or their cat or their animal. They never see a sunrise or a sunset. So in here, it's very important to understand, like if you take the time out, you wake up at the crack of dawn and you have your dog or your cat, and even in the window in the house, or if you go outside and you watch the sunset together, even if you guys aren't even kind of like staring, you're just hanging out, whatever, but sometimes you might be sitting there and just looking as the sun's about to come up. But even that, the power in this and what happens with making connections with your animals. And why does it matter? It matters because of the afterlife. It matters when you leave here. It matters when your pet leaves here. And there's information in this book all about that. honestly, when I was getting so much of the information from SOC and putting it down, I'm like, oh my God, like it's mind blowing. And what you're going to see and experience with this. There's a technique about connecting to your pet's soul, and it's very important to do that, and for lots of reasons too. Having a soul connection with your dog, the soul connection with your cat, how important that is. And maybe you have, a tortoise. Maybe you have a bunny rabbit. Maybe you have a guinea pig. Maybe you have a pot-bellied pig. Maybe you have a donkey. It's just important to have this information in your hands. And then it's about receiving information from your dogs or cats psychically. Wouldn't you want to improve your psychic connection? Well, you're going to be able to. You're going to learn how to sharpen your psychic ability with you and your animals. This is so important. It takes pet books into a level, like a level above pet books out there, the information in here. And you will know it will not disappoint. You know how many years, right? What has it been? 10 years, 11, 12 years now? From the first book, Medical Medium, book 1, Secrets. From when I handed that book to the publisher, it was a long time ago, okay? And then when I started talking to people about the book, and I would say, it's not going to disappoint. It's not going to disappoint. Look how many lives have been saved over the years with the medical medium information. This isn't any different. The medical medium healing your pet is not different. It is another level of pet care, understanding your dog, your cat, understanding your animals. It's another level. So connection with rebuilding or improving, or if you didn't know it, your psychic connection internally. Yeah. Your intuitive connection, building that, strengthening that, because guess what? Your dog and your cat has a psychic ability. Your dogs and your cats and your horses, they have a psychic ability. Is yours on? Is yours or yours sharp? Are they sharp? Because that connection, it can be there because it's there for them. It's about making it happen. And then you can pick up information from your animals. You can understand them better. You can learn about why they're sick. You can help heal them, and you can take the information in this book to help heal them. Doesn't get any better than that. It just doesn't. There's a section in this book right here. If you guys just came on here, just watch this from the beginning. I'm talking about the Medical Medium Healing Your Pet book. If you got a dog, if you got a cat, you're going to want this book. Or if you know somebody, and if you don't have a dog anymore, and you haven't got a dog, like you're not going to get another dog or you're not going to get another cat, you still want this book because there's information here from when we leave here. Down the road when we leave. There's information about where your pets are. Information about your pet's soul and a human soul. And what happens when we leave here? What happens when your pet leaves here? Every time I go into some of these chapters and I'm, reading them, rereading them, looking into it, double checking, on all the work. I mean, I get choked up every time. It gets you, but it's information that is so soulful, so powerful, and just so real, Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. There is a section here, healing your pet with light. In that section, there's practices. Light work practice 1, light work practice 2, light work practice 3, light work practice 4. Light from your hands. How to get light into your hands so it goes into your dog. Why your dog doesn't feel well, or just if your dog is fine in that moment. How to get light into your dog, into your cat. Just right there on the couch. Getting light into your dog and how that works and how to do that. These are practices. And it's in a book. It's in a book. And you know medical meme information, it's not in a $5,000 program of how to get light into your pets, which everybody will sign up. I'll get lots of people to sign up for a $5,000 program of how to get light into your pet. And maybe there's nothing wrong with that. The point is, it's just in this book. It's so easy, simple, and inexpensive to have this information. It's not even a question. Light from your hands, conducting light from above. So in this book, you learn how to conduct light from above, how it works to get it into your dog, your pup, your puppy, your kitten, your cat, how to get that light in there. And then there's a section of practice on light from a distance, which is really cool, how to receive light from a distance to help aid your animal. And there's another practice called Crown of Light. That one right there will blow your mind when you have this in your hands. You can pre-order it right now. I would pre-order it. This book is not going to be in stock when it comes out. No way. No way. Pre-order it, lock it down. Don't lose an opportunity. Make sure you pre-order it, because I've already talked to the publisher multiple times about this. They don't think they're going to be able to easily keep the book in stock. I don't think so either, because we have that problem every book, but this is different in so many ways, for a lot of reasons, actually. So you want to pre-order it if you can. Just lock it down. And on Amazon, you're not even paying for it until it's shipped. I mean, unless they change their policy or something, but that's what I remember. So yeah, there's a section in here, part 3, imperative pet care. So our animals are low to the ground. Got to keep that in mind. They're low to the ground. Okay? If we were on the ground, crawling all the time, living our entire lives crawling on the ground, okay? If that was us, our lifespan would be cut in half. You guys have to understand that. Your lifespan will be cut in half. So whatever that lifespan is for somebody, if they're supposed to be 100 years old, it's now 50 years old. If they're supposed to be 80 years old, it's now 40 years old. Because what happens in the low to the ground situation is the toxins. Most of the toxins are lower to the ground. So our animals are in that. They're in that all the time. They live, they breathe, they eat low to the ground. They're walking through parking lots on a leash. They're walking in parks with all the pesticides on the grass. They're low to the ground. So they're taking in everything, including chemtrails, pollutants, you name it, that come down and sink low. It's all low to the ground. And if you're somebody that's using like the plug-in air fresheners, it stays low to the ground. Everything toxic, almost everything toxic, is low to the ground. And so if a human was low to the ground, and they were just like, all humans just crawled around down there, because that's what we did. If we did that, our lifespan would be cut in half. So I talk about why it's important to detox your animal and how to do it. So this book isn't just about afterlife. That alone blows my mind, by the way, that there's afterlife. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Like, that's in this book. It's not just about light work practices for your dog and your cat. It's not just about making connections, profound connections, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, intuitively. It's not even just about that. It's also about detoxing, yes, your dog and cat properly, not stupidly. Not stupidly. Because just like with human health, you guys already know this. You're experts. If you know medical medium information, you're experts at this. You know all the pitfalls, all the traps, all the potholes. You know, like for instance, everybody's like, hey, W didn't talk about that yet, but it's all the rage out there. Hey, W hasn't talked about that yet. It's all the rage out there. Look what everybody's doing. There's a reason why AW hasn't talked about it. There's a reason why AW doesn't have like people doing it or whatever in the book, because it's bad. And then 10 years, you'll know about it. And 10 years, they'll know about it. Medical meme information has always been rock solid. It doesn't need to change. It hasn't changed. It's already ahead of the game, right? Well, it applies here for dogs and cats, for our dogs and cats. And it applies with sickness and symptoms and conditions. It applies with them being low to the ground, taking in toxins and pulling in toxins. And it applies with gently cleansing our dogs and cats so they live longer. They live longer. I know there's theories out there and all this stuff about, what happens with, our animals and dogs and cats and their health, but it doesn't touch the information in Healing Your Pet Medical Medium, the Medical Medium book, Healing Your Pet. And you will know and you will see it. And the 200 symptoms, conditions alone are mind-blowing. It's everything from oral health, the teeth and gum problems, the thyroid issues, the urinary tract infections. It's endless. It's endless, the amount of information in here. Are you guys having fun? I'm having fun. But I'm trying to keep low key too, a little low key, because I was popping at the seams with this one, because when it went live on Amazon today, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Another medical medium book, but for animals. So I'm very excited, I'm very happy about this, and I'm proud of this work. I am proud of this work, truly. I mean, once again, if you know medical medium info and everything, working with SOC is no easy task, but it was a task and a job well done. So let's get into this a little bit. So there's techniques in here on how to minimize the low to the ground exposures for your dogs and cats, giving them more years, giving them more time with you, more time to make connections. You know how it works with your dogs and your cats. As they get older, something magical happens, right? When now they're 3 years old, and now they're 4 years old, now they're 5 years old and 7 years old. What happens is connections build, right? Something happens with our pets when they get older and you're spending your life with them. And yes, you want them to live longer, because what's happening is something so profound, unmeasurable, absolutely just incredible, really. And you want your pets to live longer and have better lives, right? Happy to see you too. Good info so far? What do you guys think? Is it interesting or what? You're proud of me? I'm proud of you too. You can't seem to pre-order it? Give it a try again. Go to Amazon.com if you can. Give it a try. And see if you can pre-order it. Pets need sleep, but we don't think that way. We don't think about our pets needing sleep. We don't think about our dogs and cats needing sleep, they just sleep. Unless they have an illness that's preventing them to sleep, but they just sleep, right? That's how we kind of see it. But we have to see it differently, because everybody's freaking out about humans sleeping. There's all these ads everywhere left and right. You don't sleep good, take this. You don't sleep good, you need to be doing this. Try this. You need 8 hours of sleep or you're going to die. All you hear is just BS left and right about sleeping, and the freak out zones about sleeping, and how people say, if you don't get enough sleep, that's it, whatever. And it doesn't work like that. You guys know info. It doesn't necessarily work like that. You can be chronically sick and not sleep great and still heal. So you don't want to get wrapped up in the jargon that's out there, the insane chaos and jargon that's out there about it. But we don't think about, the whole industry thinks about humans sleeping, right? But we don't think about our pets sleeping, our dogs and cats, and what that means and how important it is. So there's something in this book that's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And it's called your pet comfort scale. Your pet comfort scale. Where's your pet sleeping? What's your pet sleeping on? What's your dog, what's your cat sleeping on? Are they sleeping on the floor? Are they sleeping on a hard floor? Are they sleeping on a wooden floor? Are they sleeping on a carpet? Are they sleeping on a dog bed? Is the dog bed 2 inches? Is the dog bed 4 inches? Are they sleeping on a vinyl floor? Are they sleeping on concrete? Yeah. Dog owners, cat owners, dog owners have dogs sleeping on concrete, just plain concrete. And they're lucky if they even get a blanket. They think they're dogs, they should be fine. But there's a pet comfort scale information in here that's mind-boggling, mind-blowing on a level that you will learn and be like, oh my God, like, what? Man, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Whole section in here with overheating, dehydration. I see some comments too. All right. Pure Simple Home says, trying to apply medical meme information for my 3 dogs already. This book was always one of my biggest wishes. Incredible. I am beyond happy. That's amazing. Well, you're not going to be disappointed. You're going to be very happy about this, very excited about this. Just the first few pages is mind-blowing. So much to read. You're going to go back to this. It's going to be a reference guide, a reference book. You're gonna become an expert in different areas of pet health you never thought you could be, because you wouldn't even know. Like, no one would even know how to even apply this or what. That's how new, how incredible, how ahead of time this is. And that's what's exciting about it. Claudia says, oh my God, I could cry hearing all of this. You guys, right? Is it good information? Because I get like, I'm really in this. When I'm looking through this, I'm like, yes, people are going to benefit greatly for themselves. Their dogs and cats are going to benefit. Their horses are going to benefit. Their animals. So Janie says, my dog died unexpectedly a week ago. I'm so sorry. It is so hard when we lose a loved one like that. And you're devastated. I don't know how to go on. I know this isn't out yet, but it's coming up pretty soon. I mean, we're heading into August. So let's see, September, like basically, I don't know. I think this is 7 weeks away. You can hang on there and know that there's hope, because there's information in here so important. You know what I'll do? I will do more lives about this, and maybe even a podcast at some point, and do more lives and talk about some of the information that could really soothe your heart and help with that, about how that works when. Thank you. And over here, we got more. Thank you. And over here, we got more comments too. I'm so excited. Explanation points. Been waiting for this. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to be prepared for. That's a really good. Will prepare you and jump you ahead. And I think what's going to happen, will prepare you and jump you ahead. And I think what's going to happen when some people, they do get this book, they're going to like, oh my God, I wish I knew this. 6 years ago, I don't know if it's 7 years ago, but if you've ever seen, I had a lot of stuffed animals, in the back of me. I had a lot of stuffed animals, in the back of me, and a lot of other lives in the past. A lot of stuffed dogs, stuffed pigs too, and stuffed cows, and all that. But I got all the dogs out right now. So this was actually a perfect situation to go in, kind of go into the warehouse a little bit, go into the garage and say, you know what? Let me get these guys out right here. Perfect chance for that. It really is. So excited. Just can't wait. Thank you so much, AW. I'm sitting on pins and needles, and guess what? So am I. I am sitting on pins and needles too. I really am. Because I am dying for you guys to get this book. Because I know that you're going to be like, he didn't let us down. He did not let us down. He didn't. He didn't. Light work, question mark, explanation point, question mark, explanation point, question mark. How incredible. Yes, light work. For your dogs and your cats and your horses if you want. Light work to help them heal. What's incredible about the light work to help them heal, you become your own pet healing light worker. It is not anything to take light of. It is really incredible. Let's keep on looking a little bit. Oh, more table of contents, of course, because it's a massive book. It's a massive book. So let's keep on going here a little bit. Section in here, detox and deficiencies. Guess what? Guess why? Another reason why our dogs and cats don't heal so easy with things. Guess why they're struggling and they even suffer in so many ways? Deficiencies. Deficiencies. How do we stop deficiencies? How would you know your dog or cat has a deficiency? The whole thing, all of it, information in here, all about it. Understanding your pet symptoms, whole nother game. Understanding your pet symptoms. Dogs and cats, detox and deficiency problems and their needs. Healing foods for your dogs and cats. So get ready for this. You guys like life-changing foods, right? You guys like life-changing foods? And then, of course, Life-Changing Foods, new edition. There it is. You guys like this book, right? Because this book is, it's unbelievable. It's unmatched in just, just food books out there in the world. That you can't, like, man, you can't shake a stick at that book. Anyway, the pet book is kind of its own life-changing foods in a different way. So a big hunk, like in the center of the book, is over 100 foods. And the tips are insanely awesome. Like how to prepare each food properly so you can feed your dog or cat. How to cut it just right. How to cook it just right. If you can give it to them raw or not. Let's go into just some of that in a bit too. I can't wait. There's a section called Healing Bowls. That's right. Put together a healing bowl for your dog or your cat to eat, to heal, to detox, to cleanse, to repair deficiencies, and fortify and fuel. Supplement options and understandings for dogs and cats. That's something people, need desperately in this world right now. And cautions, too, with pet foods out there and so forth. I mean, really, this is just so good. And it keeps on going on and on and on. There's a section on meat, fish, and poultry. Dogs and cat deficiencies, quail eggs. I talk about quail eggs in here and how good quail eggs are for your dog and cat. But you just shouldn't go out and run out and buy a quail egg. You should get this information and hang on and get the information here and know what to do with quail eggs. Very important. Sardine information, mackerel information, salmon information for your dogs and cats. Marrowbone information. How to get and give your dog or cat an actual beef marrowbone or bison marrowbone. Very important. And I know people say, well, those, someone said to me recently, a friend of mine was like, okay, wait a minute. You're writing about beef and liver and beef heart and bison and quail eggs and sardines and salmon? I'm like, yeah, you better believe it. It's critical for your dogs and cats. Critical. And information about how to prepare, how to serve. It is loaded. You can't find anything in existence like this. I'm just going to tell you now, if there's anything to take away from this right now, you're hanging out with me right now, chilling, and if there's something to take away, you're never going to find anything like this anywhere else. Just period. Take that away. It's just not going to exist. I want you to have this to help heal. I really do. So you got, Anthony, do you have dogs? I have dogs. Okay, Christina Love says, I saved 3+ of our animals already with medical medium information. My God. They wouldn't have survived without it. So grateful already. And now that book, you're already saving your dogs, saving your animals with medical medium information. And medical medium information to save our dogs and save our cats is in here. It's in here. Are your dogs and cats important to you? Are your animals important to you? Do they matter to you? Do they? Pre-order this. Don't delay, because if it's out of stock, then your dog or cat has to wait. Pre-order today. Tell somebody else, pre-order today. Do it for your dogs and cats. Definitely do it for your dogs and cats. Lindsay says, me too. Definitely could cry to AW, a prayer definitely answered. I definitely cried with happiness when I saw the email, Katie says, announcement this morning. We have been waiting for the medical medium pet health book. Thank you. An SOC. You guys won't be sad. You won't be disappointed. You'll be so happy about this information. My animals mean the world to me. I have a lifetime having animals in my life. It's a massive part of how I've been able to do what I've done and to get through what I've gotten through, okay? I know you know how conspiracy is big out there right now, and there's people out there talking about conspiracy this and conspiracy that. I was the first to break conspiracies out over the years. I paid dearly for it because I don't have a handler. So when you don't have a handler, you're not protected. So people that you see online and stuff, real popular podcasts, and they're talking about conspiracy and all, they can talk about a lot of different things because they have handlers, all of them. And we don't have, meaning me, SOC, we don't have a handler. And because of that, when I talk about chemtrails and broke out the first chemtrail information many years ago, I got punished. But I fought for it. Okay? You got a handler, you can say what you pretty much want and then the handler tells you what to say or don't say. Medical medium information has always been about freedom. Always ahead of the time. Always there for people who are chronically sick and their lives and how important it is. It hasn't changed. It's like that for animals. It's like that for our dogs and cats. It's like that there too. It's like that there too. And I have fought hard to get to where I am today to be able to keep on serving you guys because I'm at your service. And how many times have I said that? Why do you think there's no paywalls everywhere? And I'm not withholding information purposely to actually just delve it out and have you pay for it in every fashion and form. It's why I haven't merched you guys to death. I haven't merched you to death and then given you the old merch story they all give. Like, it keeps us going. So if you can just, check out this merch that we're doing, it's really helpful to us and all the merch bullshit. I haven't merched you guys to death with merchandise. There's a reason for it. I want you to have that freedom and understand where this comes from. I'm using freedom of press to get the most advanced information I possibly can in my ability to make sure you heal yourself and you heal your pets. And it matters. And it matters. Crispy Perspective says, woohoo! Woohoo! Is there info on bunnies? It's like this, okay? I don't have, it's like this. If you got a bunny, you still want to get this book because there's healing techniques, yes, you can use on your bunny. You can do light work on your bunny. How important is this? You can build a psychic connection with your bunny. Do you understand? Like a psychic connection with your bunny. So yes, there's information on bunnies. Yes. Build a psychic connection with your bunny, with your horse, with your tortoise, with your piggy. A lot of people have pigs, like pet pigs. They're not just cooking them up for bacon. They got pet pigs. They do. But the amount of information for how to take care of your dogs and cats is so advanced and ahead of its time. It really is. There's a section in this book called Profound Spiritual Creatures. Yes, profound spiritual creatures. Afterlife loyalty. Yes. Did you guys ever hear about the screaming ghost? I think that's what they call it out there, right? The screaming ghost. See if you guys have ever heard that. I'm just curious. I'm sure you have, right? The car accident. Don't quote me for every detail on the scene or whatever, the whole scene, but the car accident, the teenager died. Okay? Well, there are a lot of people that always wanted to understand that supernatural phenomenon. Like, there's a lot of people throughout the years. There are psychics out there that try to decipher it. There are pastors out there that try to decipher it. There are, there are religious leaders that have tried to decipher it. There are people that have tried to decipher it. They can't. They just have their theories and they try their best. You will actually understand it. It's in this book. And there's a reason why it's in this book. It's a reason why that supernatural undertaking, that supernatural phenomenon that happened is in this book. That's a huge reason. It has something to do with animals. Wait till you read what is in here. Your hair will stand up on end. You will get shivers down your spine. For real. I'm actually getting them now just talking about it. Because it does that. But you will get an understanding and information so advanced about the supernatural world through this process of just reading about it. I got a chapter in here called Ancient Animal Souls, about how old animal souls are. Guess what? They're older than humans. They're older than humans. A lot of people don't think animals have souls. But they do. They do. I'm going to read a couple more comments here. Okay, whoa. Oh, shit. Finally, pet food, medical medium. Hell yeah. Oh, my God. 100 foods in here on how to feed your pet, how to feed your dog or cat. Foods that you wouldn't expect that you could feed them, but you can feed them, but you got to prepare it a certain way. The tips are insane. So much information. It's like LCF. It's like LCF on steroids. Did you ever hear that when people say that? It's like this on steroids. Thank you so much, Anthony. I'm so excited. Can't wait to read about my beloved horse that I lost a few years ago. If you lost your horse, if you're someone out there just like you that lost their horse, then yeah, this information's important. Because your horse is still with you. And there's a reason why your horse is still with you, and there's a reason why your horse is in your home. Yes. There's a reason why your horse is trotting around your home. There's a reason why, still, to this day, long after your horse has passed away, that your horse is still here. But there's a reason that your horse isn't a ghost. Your horse is not a ghost, just trotting around in the afterlife. Your horse is actually still here for a reason, and I go into great detail. And then when we leave here, your horse leaves, and I talk about this. It's information that you have to have. I just got to remind you one more time, because I know it's going to happen, and I get beaten to a pulp over it many times, is pre-order it now or forever hold your peace. Pre-order it now or forever hold your peace. Okay? Okay? You know, like for real. I'm saying that because you don't want your animals to wait, and you don't want to wait. And I can promise you it's going to be out of stock before it even comes out. But if you pre-order it, you lock one down so the publisher can go get yours and have it stored somewhere. And so the pub can be like, okay, this person wants one. Let's make sure they get one. And I want to make sure that happens. I am begging so you don't get this one. Because it's different. It's kind of funny because it's one thing if you got to wait a little while or something, it's out of stock for a little bit. A lot of humans, I use that term a lot in this book because it's so intensely written for animals. A lot of humans, like, fine, okay, I'll go figure another way to do it. Maybe I'll do it this way or whatever, or try to get the information this way. But when it's for your pets, you don't want them to wait. And I think we're going to have trouble once it comes out. So make sure you pre-order it. There are beautiful illustrations in here that are well thought out. And when my last dog died for a while, I would wake up early because I felt something pawing at the side of the bed. Yes, my dog Molly would do that to wake me up if she's had to go outside. Karen? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Chrissy Paul says, you have saved me, been on medical medium for 6 years. I know without a doubt this will help my dog. See, Zen Veteran says, decided in my next life I am coming back as one of AW's pets. Laugh out loud. Luckiest animals ever. They are kind of spoiled. They are kind of spoiled now that I think about it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, my doggies and kitties, I think they're kind of spoiled, all right? Yeah. It's true, it's true. Rightfully so, though. Rightfully so. Definitely rightfully so. I love that you wrote a book for our pets. Thank you. You're welcome. I want to connect with, okay, Samantha says, I want to connect with my cat's soul and animal soul. Ah, yes. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about right there. That's right there. So this is my manuscript. Keep that in mind, okay? I know you can't see this. Probably. It's really, really hard. All right? But anyway, nice illustration right there. It's called Awakening with Our Animals. Awakening with Our Animals. Let me see if I could read just something. Did you ever think about this? I just opened up to one little spot here, right? Intuitive and psychic pet bonding. So connections intuitively and psychically with your dog or cat or animal or other pet, okay? Dogs and cats are similar to human babies in more ways than one. Dogs and cats are similar to human babies. A notable way pet dogs and cats are similar to human babies is the inability to communicate pain and suffering. One thing that happens is our dogs and our cats and other animals and our horses, they can't communicate with us about their pain or what bothers them or what hurts them or where they struggle. They can't, just like a baby. A little baby can cry, but mom and dad have to become like psychic somehow. In some way, mom has to kick up her intuition to like tenfold, right? It's critical. But we have to have that ability with our pets. We have to have that ability to be able to connect. And then it hits us because we build up our psychic ability. That's what's in this book. With our pets, a connection and bonding like no other. And when that happens, we can then understand, wait a minute, you aren't feeling good. And you can catch things early before it's too late. Because what happens, and one of the reasons why we lose our dogs and we lose our cats and we lose our pets and animals is we don't connect in time. Because they can't talk to us and tell us, and we can't really connect and have a psychic ability profoundly enough, like streamlined and active enough and powerful enough. And we want that so we can catch things early and know that, hey, my dog isn't doing well. Let's get my dog some help now. Let's get my cat some help now. And then all of a sudden, you stopped from sepsis happening. You stopped from a UTI. You got it early on before it got too out of control. And then you lost your animal. Like, this is important information. A human baby is unable to tell their mommy and daddy where it hurts, where the pain is, if they bang their head. And your dog and your cat and your horse can't tell you what level of pain they're experiencing when they bang their head. It's important to have that connection and that bond strong. Can I read a little bit? Just a little bit. Can human souls only reincarnate as a human or also as a pet? Whoa, you're going to love this book. David, you're going to love this book. David also said, AW, your dad is going to like this book. He is really happy about this book. He wants to do another podcast. I don't know if you guys, are interested. But my dad said, let's do another podcast. So like, that's what we got to do. I want to do another podcast. Whoa. I'm a vet and today is my birthday. I could not have gotten a better gift today, Dana. Amazing. Sweetie says, my cat sent me a dream about being ready to go before I decided to put him down. He was suffering so much, and in the dream, he sort of gave some kind of connection happen there. Sweetie 868, this is so important, this information. Okay, let me read a little something right here that I have open. There are many times in history when a dog or even a cat saved their human companion's life. You guys know that, right? Did you ever hear of any stories? Well, through history, long before history was recorded, dogs and cats have saved their companion's life. This process occurred because of a connection the companion had instilled in their dog or cat. In the same way the dog or cat instilled a deep connection into that companion. You have to understand it. When that connection's strong and you know how to build that connection through this information in this book, you're opening up a grand potential for if something ever happened where your dog or your cat can save your life. Something that you don't know about. Like if a gas pipe popped or something in the house and it's bleeding over, or something happens, or you're in a car and exhaust fumes are coming in, something happens. Because yes, when a connection is that strong and that viable and that real between your animal, because you know how to build that connection like in this book, then you have a greater chance that your dog or cat will do for you what they've done, what other dogs and cats have done in history before history was even recorded. Okay, right? And so, in the same way the dog or cat instilled a deep connection into that companion, throughout history, pet caregivers have fallen through the ice. They've fallen through the ice, and their dogs have pulled them out of the icy waters or found help. Throughout history, there have been sudden illnesses in households with a dog or cat running out of the house, searching for a nearby neighbor, even searching for a slow-moving car in the neighborhood, and has saved people's lives from an illness. There are endless scenarios in which dogs and cats and horses, you guys hear me, horses, yes, especially horses, have saved human lives throughout the decades and centuries. The saving of human lives didn't all happen because, get ready for this, didn't all happen. The saving of human lives didn't all happen because the animals were trained to do so. Instead, quite the opposite. Animals who were not trained to save lives chose with their own free will. And that's the thing. Did you know that when you build a connection with your dog or cat, your horse, your animal, did you know they have their own free will? People don't think their dogs or cats have their own free will. They just don't. I mean, some maybe if you ask them, said, does your dog or cat have their own free will? They'd be like, yeah, you know what? I think they do. But they do have their own free will, and they can use that free will to save your life. It is more than feasible, more than possible. They can make their own decision to save your life and even save their own life. So there's just information about connecting, how to connect intuitively, psychically. That is a huge part of the book, but the book has so much in it. We even go into, let's just go into like a couple of different things here. Let's go in some different areas, okay? Your dogs, cats, horses, and other animal companions, check this out, and friends all have a profound psychic and intuitive nature, even if it doesn't seem so from your point of view. So your point of view, this is about teaching you to become an animal expert in so many ways. Just because your dog seems like they have their own mind and that they may not want to properly walk on a leash, or your puppy may not want to be bathroom trained yet, that doesn't have anything to do with their supernatural psychic connections and abilities. Their psychic sensitivities and abilities are already profound, and it's about understanding and learning that. I'm just going through a couple of different areas here. There's techniques here on how to work with your animals. I'm going to go into some foods and tools too. There's just so much information here. This is over 100 different foods, fruits, vegetables, even leafy greens, even foods like black beans. Yeah, black beans. It's interesting, right? And how good they are for deficiencies for dogs and cats. But before you just go out, don't go out and just grab some black beans and start giving your dog or cat black beans. Please don't do that. Please. All right. You have to have this book because there's tips, like lots of tips. It's not even just tips, like imperative amounts of information on how to prepare, how to utilize the food for your pets, how to work with it for your dog and cats. Okay. Like I just opened up A for apples. I'm just A for apples right here. So we have an apple right here. First thing it says is do not toss your dog or cat a whole apple to eat. Do not just give your dog or cat a whole apple to eat. This is just the starting point of this. They're going to have a hard time eating it, hard or soft. You do not want your dog or cat trying to bite into a whole apple. So it's a whole thing about that. There's talk about apple seeds not being good for your dogs and cats. It talks about why and everything about that. When dogs eat a whole apple by accident, it talks about what to do because there are dogs. One of my dogs would be like, because I have an apple orchard, one of my dogs got into the orchard and started devouring apples because they're so sweet and juicy and delicious. And there's a way to make sure everything is safe and good if that ever happens. Like, this is just a tip of the iceberg of how much information is in here. Avoid giving your dog an apple with all the rotten spots on it. You like the bruises and all that? People think, oh, it's my dog, it's my cat. Let me just give them some apple that has all the mushy bruises on it. You don't want to do that. Just because, and there's a whole thing in this book, just because your dog is a dog, your cat's a cat, you can just throw them scraps like they were a pig. Like they were a pig. Because they're an animal. Because they're a dog and a cat. You don't want to be just throwing just discards, food discards so freely like, oh, you're a dog and cat, you can just eat scraps. It's important information about like applesauce, making your own applesauce, the whole bit. But what you'll find with all the different foods, all of them, there's so many, like asparagus, apples, melon, bison, beef heart, like all these different foods, right? What you'll find is like many of these foods, most of these foods you'll find amounts, like large dog, medium dog, small dog, cat, all the different amounts and how to prepare it. You can't find this anywhere. It does not exist. It just doesn't. I'm just going through the pages. And there's apricot. We started with apple, then there's apricot. But like I said, don't just start, there's avocado. Don't just start giving your dogs and cats a bunch of avocado. Got to read this because there are some avocados out there in the world that are not that safe or safe at all. They do exist. So there's information here. Bananas. But all the tips of how to give bananas to your dogs or cats. You give an underripe or overripe banana to your dog or cat, you could have a problem. But there's a way to do it. So much information here. Yes, bell peppers, but never give them a hot pepper. So much. It's so great. Blackberries, raspberries, it's endless. And there's that much information here. It's like a life-changing foods built in here for your dog and your cat. I can't express it enough. We're going to move this over, this part of the manuscript. It's a big book. You got some notes here. Once again, we're in all these areas like green beans, peas. Think peas are good for people, for humans? No one cared about peas. There were mushed peas for babies, for baby food. There were steamed peas in elderly homes, in assisted living homes. They offer peas. But anybody in the health movement, they didn't think peas were worth crap in the health movement, right? And Medical Medium Information has gotten the information out there. We've got like the message out there about how critical peas are. Green peas, Those are the ones about how to eat them in a whole bit. Steaming peas. You guys see me make peas. What they do for people, what they do for women and women's health. And there's information on how to give steamed peas to your dogs and cats. Green beans, another one right there. There's the green pea information. It says green peas are easy on dogs and cats, digestion and packed with vitamins and minerals. Peas need to be steamed until their texture is soft. Very important. You do not want your peas hard when you're giving them to your dog or cats. Like it keeps on going. Bullet point after bullet point after bullet point. And like I'm just, lamb. Yeah, lamb. If you give your dogs or cats lamb, how to do it, how to do it right, information that's important. Bison, very important information. And the list goes on. Mackerel, sardines, salmon, quail eggs. Talked about that earlier a little bit. Okay, all the details about quail eggs, and even rice. So there's sections in the book for like helping with very important emergencies. Your dog, your cat has diarrhea, some kind of gastric distress, vomiting or anything, like all these different things. Information that's in this book about how to use rice to actually help your dog or cat. Pancreatitis. Dogs get pancreatitis all the time. They just do out there. So that's one of the things they struggle with. Like lots of dogs get pancreatitis. People don't know that's what they're up against, but the information in here really helps you. There's a section in here called Profound Spiritual Creatures. So much information like afterlife loyalty. Afterlife loyalty is all about when our pets leave us and the loyalty they have. They're so loyal, unlike people. People can be loyal, but they also may not be loyal. That's just the way it works. It's human nature. People can create a bond with another person and the bond breaks through just one word, or something happens between them and the bond breaks. It doesn't work like that with your dogs and cats. It doesn't work like that with your horses. It doesn't work like that with your animals. The bond that gets formed does not break. It doesn't. And so the afterlife loyalty is something that lives on that is unbeatable. Unbeatable. Yes, there's afterlife loyalty with humans, definitely. But also humans, it's not always crystal clear. It's not always like that. People are in love with another human, then they're not in love anymore. What happened? There's all these things that you see how it works. People are loyal to another human, and then what happened? No loyalty. People are great with another human, they love it, and then betrayal. Like that's just life here on planet Earth. And it's not always like that, but it's like that, right? Not with your dog or cat. Afterlife loyalty is next level. You need this book. You guys, seriously, pre-order it when you get a chance. Make sure, because you're pre-ordering it, you're letting the publisher who I need to make sure that this gets out there in the world. Somehow, thank God, they care about medical medium information. The publisher cares about medical medium information, cares about the message, cares about how it heals people, and now going to heal their pets, and also has healed their pets, the information has. And so pre-ordering it now lets the pub know that they can get the copies so they're there for you, and then people aren't waiting because it's all sold out right when it comes to town. And you want to make sure you have it for your animals. Very important. Do pets take on our emotions, and does it affect their physical and emotional health? I have a whole section in the book talking about the emotional health of our pets and how that works with our emotions. A lot of different good tips too about that. That's very helpful. So yeah, you're really going to enjoy this book. You really are. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to let you know. So Amazon won't let you pre-order, huh, Jody? Wow. I wonder what's going on. When's the last time you tried it? I mean, a lot of people could be pre-ordering it right now, maybe at once, and there's a log jam. It's kind of like busting their system a little bit. That does happen. So but give it a try again. And definitely, because I hope you're able to do that and pre-order it. Anyway, guys, incredible. I'm going to do another live eventually. I'm going to read more about what's in the book, more information about what's in here. So I am going to do that, and maybe even a podcast at some point about it. But this is just the start, because we're going to be doing a lot for pets. This is very exciting. You know, I'm going to sit down over here. Let's do that. Coming over, you guys. Let's sit down. Let's take a look in here. My dogs and cats in my life have shaped a big part of who I am. They have. Because I really believe they've helped me too with like the understanding that I've had to take, the mission in my life that I've had to take, the direction I've had to take since I was young. And I believe that my animals they've buffered so much of what I have gone through with being young and then hearing SOC at a young age. Learning how to deliver the message for people to heal and do it in a way that, you know, isn't toxic, because the world is all about, much of the world in the industry is just really not about looking out for the person, so to speak. There are healers out there and practitioners and doctors that do look out for people. And there's a lot that don't. They just don't care. But there's a lot that do, and they understand. You know, they really have their heart in it. But you know, I was never in 9-to-5er, starting since I was a kid with this mission in life to heal as many people as possible that with this information can do. And I think that all through the process, because I wasn't a 9-to-5er, and I was all on, all hours, didn't matter how many years and over the decades. If it wasn't for my animals, I don't know if I could have done it. I don't think I could have. I don't think I could have sacrificed the amount I sacrificed, never vacationing. Like when I hear people say vacation, it's just like, what? Whoa, I'm glad someone can take a vacation if they take a vacation. But when I hear vacationing, I'm just like, what? You know, a lot of people I've known over the years, a lot of friends, they'd be like, so when's your vacation this year? I'm like, what are you talking about? And they'd be like, well, I was just in the south of France. I was like, what? Dude, I'm working my butt off. But it's interesting that when I really think about it, when putting this book together with SOC, I came to the conclusion, it really fortified that, yeah, I've made massive sacrifices in my life, fine. But my animals allowed me to survive it and to be here now and to be talking to you guys now. There's no doubt that they played such a critical, profound, important role in my life. I mean, even when I didn't sleep much, or I'm not sleeping much because I had like book deadlines, or I was battling some evil force over the years that has happened so many times. Like, I never even told you guys the story about what happened with just like how the medical media platforms were even censored. When I put out the first chemtrail show back like 6.5 years ago, whatever it was, and how people came knocking on my door and said, you can't have this much power or this much effect on people with information. You're going to have to obtain a handler. And I was like, no way. And I turned down handlers, and then boom, was censored. Like boom, was, people have no idea the battles underneath it all over the years. And since I'm not a billionaire, it's, it's not like people tell you. The people out there now doing stuff like that, they're super uber wealthy, and they have their own handlers, but they also have a lot of investment behind them. The point is like, I don't know if I could have like survived the battles and the fights to try to get the information out to people to protect them if it wasn't for my animals. I don't believe I could have pulled it off. It was always like my puppies being there for me. And, it's always that connection that makes you kind of recalibrate, right? Did you ever have that in your life? You're going through a hard time and you have your dog, you have your cat, you have your horse, and you can recalibrate and you can see the true meaning in life, and true meanings in life. You can really connect with that. So like my sacrifices throughout the decades, pulling all-nighters, helping people with 24-hour emergency hotline. All through the days, I used to help people one-on-one. I don't know, maybe some of you guys remember. And I'd be woken up all through the night. I don't even know if I slept for 3 decades from that, almost 4, whatever. And then like starting when I was younger, like the hotline all night long, Had 2 offices, be going back and forth. I slept very little because too many people were sick. It's like, no, I am sick. I need help. I need sick. My doctor doesn't know what's wrong. You have to talk to my doctor. I have no answers. If it wasn't for my dogs, if it wasn't for my animals, if it wasn't for my pets, no way. I just couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it. And I think this is long overdue, this information. I have it open right here on lentils. You believe that? You can give lentils to your dogs and cats. But do not just go and start giving lentils to your dogs and cats. Do not do that, please. You got to read. You got to read. You have to read the information. Every bit about it is important. Talks about even like sprouted lentils. You have to read. Don't just start throwing your dogs and cats lentils because you're excited right now. I'm excited, but just don't do that. Talks about like so much information. Chia seed, don't start just giving your dog, cat chia seed without reading this. Flaxseed ground flaxseed. You gotta read this. Please, it's coming pretty soon, just pre-order it. Hemp seed butter. Don't just go and get hemp seed butter and then start giving your dog, cat hemp seed. Make sure you read this, please, before that happens. I would appreciate that. Pumpkin seed butter. Oh my God. Lauren says, LMAO. The irony that our pets can have way more foods than we can. I thought the same thing. Millet. Millet for your dogs and cats. Once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, you guys, but once again, please, you got to wait till the book comes before you start delving out a whole bunch of millet. Chicken, cooked chicken. But AW, you don't like chicken. But AW, different with dogs and cats. A lot of cats won't eat anything but chicken. You can't look, there's cats out there that won't eat anything but chicken. So what are you going to do? Take the chicken away? So I got information here. Very important on feeding chicken. A lot of information. There was pages worth right there about chicken. Turkey, both raw and cooked. Chicken, both raw and cooked. Don't give a bunch of chicken bones, God forbid, to your dog or cat. Unless you understand how it works between raw, cooked, and whole bit. Just don't do that. Just make sure you have this in your hands. Peanut butter. Interesting. But you can't just give your dog or cat gobs of peanut butter. You can't do that. You can't just crack open a jar and be like, here. No. Got to know like the amounts, dosages. Very important. I'm going to read some comments here. So beautiful to heal our pets. So beautiful to heal our pets. We saved a cat, and he is so spiritual. I believe that. My dad has a lot of cats. My mom has a lot of cats. They both live with cats. understands us when we talk, and we are teaching with telepathy. High frequency, when he comes in, he is so grateful and we love him. I lost my soul pet, a mini dachshund at 17 years old in 2017. Sorry, the angle was a little tough to read. Since then, I haven't been able to get another dog because her loss was so painful. She was everything to me. She helped me so much. Completely understand. I have lost dogs throughout the decades, and I know what it's like. Kathy says, my dogs are already doing better following some of your protocols. I can't wait to read the book. I can't wait for you to read the book. I can't wait. Pinto beans. You know what's really funny? That comment earlier, though, about like, great, our dogs and cats, I'm not sure how you actually said it, but dogs and cats, they can eat more foods than we can. Pinto beans, very interesting. For your dogs and cats. But wait till you get the details. Rice, for your dogs and cats, wait till you get the details. Very important. Black beans for your dogs and cats. Wait till you get the details. Very important. I'm just going through some of the foods. Interesting, right? The foods are endless, though, it seems. Sardines. That's a good one right there. Thyme. You know, thyme. Right? The herb. How to use thyme. They're dogs and cats. And wild bluebirds. Anyway, okay, you guys. I just want to say that if you love your animals, if you love your dog or cat, even if your dog or cat's not with you now, this book is going to be very good to have in your hands. It's a great book for reading at night when you're going to bed. And it's a great book to have in the kitchen when you're preparing foods and healing bowls. That's something in the book called healing bowls. You make your own, customize your own healing bowl. I could be here all day with you guys. Anyway, be good. I love you much. So, Dad, you had a passion for fruit trees as a kid.
I was focused on nature. We always picked wild fruits like berries, raspberries, blackberries, even wild strawberries. They were small but delicious. And mulberries. There were giant trees back then of mulberries. In the end, it's the lesson I learned. It's what really matters. It's nature that teaches you the most and means the most.
Because God and nature are really one and the same.
So true.